Never underestimate the value of a high-profile game reveal months before launch. The recently revealed Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is the key example here. Because of its significance, the hype around it, and the clear amount of work that's gone into remaking the 2013 classic from the ground up, complete with new features and overhauled visuals, the development team has hit the ground running with marketing. A bunch of new details were revealed recently, and without further ado, here's what you should know about the remake before its launch on July 9th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC.
Ease up! Fire! Fire!
Blackbeard's Treasure Quest. The development team promised new quests focusing on existing allies like Blackbeard and Stade Bonnet. What it didn't say is that it would tug at our heartstrings with the likes of Blackbeard's Treasure, which sees Edward discovering a map and engaging in what his friends would call fairy stories. Coupled with the new emotional shanties that tie into the story, we're just not equipped for the emotional roller coaster that's about to ensue. Blood confirmed. What we are ready for is blood, so it was a little strange to see the lack of it during the worldwide reveal event. This led some to assume that it had been toned down, removed, or even worse, relegated to paid DLC. Right? Thankfully, producer Justin Ng clarified that there will be blood in the final game, and it will not be a paid DLC, so that's nice. No dismemberment. Unfortunately, despite running on the same version of the Anvil engine as Assassin's Creed Shadows, you shouldn't expect dismemberment, as confirmed by creative director Pal Fu in a recent Reddit AMA. Why? That was never really specified. Maybe it's because it doesn't really fit Edward Kenway's profile, so expect some degree of visceralness without the bonus of limbs flying everywhere with each swing. New enemy defense mechanic. What does speak to our favorite swashbucklers' tactics in combat? Breaking down an enemy's defense, which is represented in the form of a small bar beneath their health, and taking them down with style. This is done through parrying, sustained defensive pressure, as the developer calls it, and strong attacks, and varies between enemies, so while hacking and slashing works with regular enemies, the brutes may require a pistol shot. It's an intriguing shift and actually plays pretty well into the new HUD presets. HUD presets. To allow for a fully immersive experience, you can now customize the heads-up display. There are several existing presets, including Default, which displays just about everything, Simple, which removes the reminders and retains much of the information required for combat and navigation, and Minimal, where only the health bar, cannon aiming arc during naval combat, and prompts for interacting with things remain, which is good, but it can be made even better. HUD customization. And that's by turning off the HUD completely, leaving you to rely entirely on your own observation. Even if you're not willing to go to such extremes, it's possible to customize every single element of the HUD and remove elements like the visibility meter while sneaking or defense indicators in combat. How will you know if an enemy's defense has been broken? Quite simple, really. They lose their hat. It's appropriate, really, since their head is soon to follow. Oh wait, there are no decapitations. Never mind. Moving on. Hidden Blades change. Amid all the combat changes, one thing that's rattled the community is the removal of the hidden blades as a selectable weapon. Like in the original, it still appears for takedowns, says Fu, but you can no longer just swap to them and wreak havoc assassin style, which is such a shame. Parrying VFX and audio adjustments. On the bright side, the developer has seen the feedback on the visual effects and audio cues from parries being too loud, and is looking to address the same. While you could turn off the VFX and the options after learning enemy attacks and the parry timing, a middle ground for those who would prefer having the indicators on would be nice. The compass. Who could have guessed that Borderlands 4 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced would become embroiled in the same discussions about no minimap? Yes, the latter does away with the same, instead providing a compass. According to the game director Richard Knight in the same AMA, it's to keep our eyes on the seas, with the compass providing a direction on where to go without taking up a lot of screen space or distracting from the endless blue. Which is fine, but this is one of those things that we'll need to go hands-on with before deciding whether we love it or not. Zip lines in cities. One thing that everyone can positively agree on is the addition of zip lines in cities. So, while you're still parkouring around relying on intuitive additions like side ejects, back ejects, and whatnot to reach high vantage points, getting back down to the ground will be quick and seamless thanks to the zip lines. Observe mode. Observe mode from Shadows has also been integrated so you can effectively scan your surroundings, tag enemies, and highlight other important details. And if the compass works in the same way, then you can see that information in your HUD at all times. Wanted system and legendary ships.
Fire! Fire! Piece of water! Firing, sir! Fire!
Two key features that won't be seeing any changes are the Wanted system and legendary ships. In the original, your Wanted level could attract the attention of pirate hunters seeking your bounty. They would escalate in difficulty depending on the same. Clearing this meant bribing officers or boarding ships, or dying in the process, so it's good to see that that's returned. As for legendary ships, they're essentially 4 very challenging ships located on the corners of the map that provide handsome rewards if you can take them down. New islands and city locations. Speaking of which, you may or may not have noticed that the world map isn't really any bigger or smaller than the original. Fu confirmed that it's still 16 by 16, but instead, the team is focused on increasing the overall density of content, adding new islands and locations within established cities, which is music to our ears. So keep an eye out when passing through ports or sailing on the high seas. You never know what new content could crop up. Social events incorporated into the base game. Or old content, really, especially the social events that required being always online in the original. These comprised activities such as royal convoys, social chests, and white whales, but with Resynced, they're built directly into the base game. It even teased that some of them, like the convoys, won't be easy to find, which we hope doesn't make them feel virtually non-existent. Those who still want some form of online content shouldn't worry though, as the anomalies are still here. Remappable controls. And if all this wasn't enough, you can remap the controls. Heck, you can even set different buttons for on-foot and naval exploration. Further details have yet to be shared on that front and regarding accessibility features, but Knight confirms the team hears the feedback on implementing a classic control scheme. Perhaps something for post-launch. Time will tell, but there's a chance. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.